Back in the early 60s, I just got through with basic training at Fort Jackson, South Carolina. And my next assignment was at Fort Rucker in Ozark, Alabama, and I worked in the finance office. And in that time, you had some spare time along. I stayed around the rec center a good bit and met Ty Adams. And he talked to me about, had I called any ball? And I said, well, just RA ball, something like that. And then he worked with me and let me call some intramural games down there. And then when that fall, when they started taking a basketball test, I joined the Enterprise Association. And that's where I got started doing basketball. I had a lot of memories of basketball, football, baseball, and softball down through the years, but some of the stuff that was really intriguing to me is the basketball. That was my love, basketball. I was fortunate down through the years that we formed a baseball association in Clanton in the late 70s, and we had worked the East-West game. One of the things that intrigued me after booking all these people like that, we got the call in Rickwood Field. You probably remember, and I would remember, that we started a three-man crew. And Mr. Brewer asked me would I come to Tuscaloosa and keep the number of fouls by positions. And this was new to us all the way through. But I did that, and behold, we had a snowstorm. And we had to cancel a lot of games and come home. Being with high school officials all across the state of Alabama has been a joy to me. To be able to go to different parts of the state and work area games. I was in Mobile, I was in North Alabama, East Alabama, West Alabama. One of the fun games I think I had was when I played we played Talladega School for the Deaf and the Blind. W.J. May and I and Hal Boyd was in the ball game, and W.J. had taught over there, and he talked to those kids by hand signals, you know, and he said, let's play ball. And Hal Boyd said, hey, you gonna talk to them boys that don't understand what these sign language is? But we got that covered up, and that was one of the fun times we had, I think. Melvin Grant did us good. He pulled us aside. Bill, you know, Bill was the booking agent, but Melvin kind of was the president of and he got us into it. And it wasn't long, we were doing a lot of ball games for him. Him, Greg Brewer, Greg England, Ormond Brown, they gave us good games. We worked there for a while, and then we moved to Montgomery, which was closer to us, and I never known of a time that I turned any assignment down. Well, I had a wife and a daughter, and both of them supported me on all the games that I've called, and I was going a lot of days and a lot of nights. My wife, I think, went to one basketball game, and the crowd got it hollering at the officials, and she said, I'm not going back anymore. It was a pleasure for them to let me do what I love to do. If I didn't have clean clothes to go to a ball game, Mama got them clean. But I shined my shoes, and I never got on the field that I didn't have shine shoes. Football, basketball, baseball, whatever. And I got on to a lot of officials for not doing that. Don't do it for the money. Do it because you love the game. I did. I love the game. And I call games that I didn't get paid for. If you get in association, or you want to get in association of calling basketball, go to the game and watch the officials and see how they do it. And when you get to that point that you call maybe a B game and you leave after that, you stay and watch the varsity officials, how they handle themselves. And one other point I always said to them is that they say, Well, I didn't get a big game. Every game is a big game, regardless of what age it might be. The little boys, it's important to them too. So I always consider that a big game, wherever we do. I can't tell you how grateful I have been for the assignments I've had and being recognized as one of the officials in the state of Alabama. It's a pleasure for me to go into town, church, schools. Mr. Cook, you used to call our ball games, didn't you? I said, yes, I did. He says, you was always the best, you know. Well, that wasn't true. But the recognition that I got, and when I decided I was going to run for city council, I stopped at a lot of houses and they said, yeah, I'm going to vote for you, Mr. Cook, because you called our ball games when I was in school. That was great response that I got from the community I had.